And we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Welcome to the Six
Nah.
Gaming Podcast, episode
Yeah.
number 49. I'm here with our largest cast member. Say
Yeah.
hi.
Damn it, Dan. Stop being so large.
Wait, what? Did you, lose weight on us or something?
Maybe.
Did you get sucked in by another black hole?
Shut up, Ron.
And, of course, we got our drunk Jew, we'll call him.
That's racist. What's up?
How's it going, Dan?
It's
Right.
going well.
So, we've had a lot happen over the last 3 weeks, so let's get right to it. And we'll start with the whole center of the controversy. Veg, why don't you go first? You got
People are assholes.
Yes.
So, if you own a console in the past ever, you know that a lot of the multiplayer games are still fun, apparently. So, anyway, Lizard Squad is back, and they came in full force during Christmas and decided, hey, let's just shut down the Xbox Live and the PSN networks because fuck you. That's why.
Wow.
That was literally their motto.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if the edit button's going to survive this episode.
Good, because it was pure bullshit.
Oh, gee. All right, Veg. Easy
This
now.
is
No,
a
it's-
family-friendly podcast?
Supposed
No,
to be, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Veg is just blowing it all out of the water, though.
No, because this irritates the crap out of me.
But
You know, and I've had several discussions with friends about this. You know, and they're like, well, it's not. You'll live without gaming. Yeah, I know I'll live without gaming, but it's not fair to other people that don't game like I do, and that have to suffer because of these douchebags.
and I know
So
my 11-year-old nephew still has a 360, and he was doing all right on Christmas Day. He was playing the latest Call of Duty, and
Yeah, it was throttled so hard for Xbox, but PSN was just down.
Mhm.
So, very fortunate enough, they were awesome enough to extend certain sales. Everybody did, even Xbox. They also added, for GTA 5 and a couple other games, they kept the Christmas stuff going for a couple weeks longer, or a week longer, or a week and a half longer, something like that. So everybody can enjoy it, because I got fortunate enough and got everything I got on the 24th before they shut everything down. But it's stupid. It's just
yeah, it's not been a fun week. And it's kind of funny because I'm considering getting into the console, and the only question remaining is which one. And I started out kind of leaning towards the Xbox and started leaning towards the PlayStation later, and now it's kind of like I don't really know what to do. So
well, if you get a Wii U, can you get me one too?
I'm probably not going to get Wii U, no. But yeah, it's been a heck of a week for these two guys. But yeah, and you were mentioning that there were some sales as well over it.
Yeah, a lot of the sales going on for Christmas week for both of them were extended. Xbox is just finished. PlayStation's going on till I think the 7th
Mhm.
or something like that.
Right.
So whatever deals they had going on for Christmas week, they're still going on. And on top of a bonus for the PSN users is an extra 10%, as well as anyone who was doing a active trial for those days were extended 5 more days
Right.
for free trial.
Now this might
So-
seem like an emergency to some, but
Oh. Yeah, people quite literally took it as an emergency and called 911 about this. One particular.
it's kind of amusing here because the thing that I looked up here has a little transcription. It says 911, what's your emergency? And the caller says, do you know what's going on with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox network being down? It's been down since Christmas. I heard they arrested 2 people so far. And the lady says, last time I checked, that wasn't an emergency. Try going outside or read a book. Oh, yeah,
Now-
great.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A kid in Florida was panicking because he couldn't play. I'm like, really? That's just no words.
I'm sure if you go to YouTube, there's plenty of nerd rage videos over people wanting to play, but they can't.
Yeah.
You know how those gems always hit YouTube. But and my news is very much related to this. We'd probably still be going through these outages today if it weren't for one Kim.com. Now, of course, Kim.com, he's the entrepreneur out of this is Australia or New Zealand? I forget which.
No, New Zealand.
New Zealand. Yeah, that's right. He's actually German.
Killed in that Seth Rogen movie.
Huh? Was he really in that movie?
Kim.com, Kim Jong Un.
No,
Never
different
mind.
Kim. Different Kim. Okay, and so he was the founder of the former file hosting service called Mega Upload, which he ended up serving some jail time over. He's also apparently a very big professional gamer, and I don't remember which first-person shooter it was, but he was like #1 in the world on the PlayStation version of it for a while.
Probably Modern Warfare 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, which but I mean, you can tell this guy's pretty serious in the game. So he decided one day, while this whole DDoSing was going on, he's like, "Hey, Lizard Squad, I want to play this new game, but I can't because these networks are down. Can you stop DDoSing these games? I'll give you a free subscription to my privacy service for life." It's like. You say they accepted, and they did it. They stopped spamming him, and Kim.com gave them the free subscriptions. It's wow.
I think that's actually how they caught 2 of them.
Yeah, that would be funny if it was. I didn't see that. That would.
Well,
be
they didn't exactly say how they got caught, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with that because they would have to get their private information from him.
Yeah, they did get one guy in the UK.
Yeah, thank God.
And I think that was the same guy who tweeted the American Airlines threat back in August.
Then he's boned.
Probably. The other guy, though, I don't know if you guys have seen this at all. The individual that's kind of like taking credit for all the really big stuff that Lizard Squad does, like the DDoSing, goes by the name of Ryan S. or something?
Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest.
He's just mad that he's doesn't mean anything anymore.
I know, right? And he's a hacker
video games
in Finland. And he's like 17 years old. The thing that makes this guy unique is that he knows a lot about Finnish law and has done much to make sure that he's sailing above the law so that he can't get caught by any of this. He even appeared on Sky News live in the BBC not too long ago. So this guy's he's got some serious balls. And he said that this whole thing with the DDoSing and everything was simply a commercial for his new DDoSing service called Lizard Stressor.
What was it?
Lizard Stressor.
What the hell?
This is the website. You can go to this website. You can pay some bitcoins, and you can DDoS any site in the world.
Are you serious?
I'm done. I'm done.
People like him need to be roasted alive.
Well, wait a little bit because Bitcoins fell about $100 in the last couple of days, so you can get it cheap pretty
Bitcoins
soon.
fall $100, and then they raise $200, and they fall $300, all within the span of a couple of hours.
Wow, it's been trending down, unfortunately, but
yeah, it's not as high as it's not the 4 digits it was when I was looking at it some months ago. But oh man, this whole Lizard Squad business is just absolute. It's either maddeningly frustrating or absolutely hilarious. And I'm on the hilarious side since I don't own a console. I don't own any of the PS.
Hey, let them attack Blizzard again. See how well that goes.
Yeah, they haven't attacked Blizzard or League in quite some time. So
good, because I think Blizzard. I think Blizzard was one of the main contributors for catching the one.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about this Lizard Squad crap. Let's see what Dan's got.
Douchebag.
So in the 6.1 Blue Post, some of the things that they talked about that I thought were of particular interest, aside from they're working on garrison stuff, which is cool. I mean, there are areas in your garrison that are still under construction looking, and we're all maxed out, so obviously they're going to give us some more stuff that we can do.
Maybe a dance studio.
Maybe a dance studio.
Studio's already in the game.
Yeah, I know.
So one of the things that they said is that they're looking at ways to let people trade game time for gold. And it sounds like they're going to do it quite a lot like EVE Online does it, where it would well, not quite like EVE Online does it because you can have that shit stolen from you. But you would probably be some kind of special interface where you can trade gold for some kind of item. And the other thing is that it sounds like it says, while giving players who might have less playtime an option for acquiring gold from other players through a legit and secure system. So when it says when they have less playtime, it sounds like if you like buy a month and then like you only are gonna play for a week, you can sell 3 weeks. So it seems like it might be you don't have to, or maybe if you buy a year, you can sell monthly. I don't know. It sounds like there's some granularity to it, so that you can sell less than some max amount, rather than just game card time.
And like you mentioned, this isn't some new system that Blizzard's come up with. You know, EVE Online does it. WildStar does it. It's not a new concept. But what you're mentioning with the granularity, that's the first I've heard of it.
That's a guess based on the way they worded it.
Interesting, actually.
One thing that, you know, from my perspective that kind of sucks is this is going to be, I mean, gold making is going to become almost obsolete. I mean,
it is, because if you want to make gold,
buy
you just
gold.
pay $15.
Right.
Give someone a month of time for gold, and all of a sudden you've got all the gold you need.
Right, but on the other hand, if people who want gold can't afford to buy it also, then being able to make gold and then buy game time with it, like, you know, I may be able to play for the next year for free, which would be pretty cool.
Right.
The other thing that I looked at that was pretty cool is they're finally talking about getting the heirloom panel set up, which is going to be a huge.
Finally.
If you're an Altaholic, it's going to be a huge help. Basically, what it will be is just an interface that shows you all the heirlooms that you own, any available upgrades or whatever. I think you'll be able to buy them with gold, and then just on any character, you probably just click on them and it puts it on your character. So you just automatically have all your heirlooms instead of having to send them around.
Yeah, because it gets really tiresome to try and track your heirlooms, try to find which one is which or which tune has them.
Yeah, one of the things that Blizzard's been really good at in the last couple patches is improving quality of life.
Yeah,
and
clean
this
up.
Just is another step further into that.
The toy box, the favorite mount thing.
I'm still waiting for their tabard.
Yeah, tabard would be nice. Half my bank is almost literally tabard.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
anyway, that's what I got.
Cool. All right.
Oh,
got something.
I don't know if I announced this last week or not, or last time we did podcast.
You wouldn't have announced it last week. You weren't here last week.
Words mean things.
Anyway,
GTA 5 finally announced Heist, which they've been going on about for over a year now when they first released the game, saying, oh, hey, you get to do Heist with people online. Yeah, we haven't been seeing that shit in a long time. So they promised it right when the game was going to be released. They didn't even release multiplayer when the game was released. We had to wait for that for almost a month and a half. And then Heist wasn't even nearly ready. But from what I've seen in the speculations, it's going to be awesome. Basically, if you've ever played GTA 5 single player, you set up these heists for the main story mode. Spoiler alert. If you didn't know that, you're stupid. Anyway. Anyway,
You do illegal stuff?
yeah, you steal money from people. Shocking. And you kill them. Oh no. And you steal their cars.
What?
Oh,
On
dear.
top of it. And you
Dear.
kill hookers for money that you paid them.
Wait, what? Oh, we gotta shut this down.
Yeah, I know, right?
Someone called Tipper Gore.
Anyway, so you finally you can finally do the single player heist. It's not the same
Rated
heist
N
though.
for nobody.
Rated A for anyone not consent. I don't know. Anyway, so they finally announced that there's going to be a whole crap ton of missions. It's an announced DLC, and if it's going to be anything like the regular DLCs, it's going to be free and it's going to be huge.
Nice.
So they're adding 8 new vehicles, a whole bunch of new weapons, and then a bunch of the stories with heists. So we've been looking forward to one of the jets, which is basically a hover jet, and then it can fly like a regular jet. That was one of the biggest ones that they announced as well, which has rockets and explosions and awesomeness.
Very cool. All right.
So that's definitely worth looking into if you have GTA 5.
Absolutely. All right. So that should do it for the news for this week. Let's move on to the game pick of the week.
Yay.
Let's start with Dan. What you got?
Well, I've actually been able to play some Warcraft, which has been nice.
Yay. Actually got you in a raid too.
Yeah, I had a bunch of business travel and family travel and everything, so I'm way behind everyone.
That's what the holidays are.
I was hanging out at 608 item level, and Ron needed a healer, and didn't care that I would heal everyone to death, but managed to do okay on my new main, Monk Healing, which is quite fun. And since then, 608 earlier this week, I'm now 633 tonight. So
that's a huge jump.
Had some bump ups because I was 608. I got a belt during that raid, which put me into heroic territory. Got some heroic pieces, and then I'll talk more about it in the Goblin tips. But I bought 2 pieces of gear, like a 665s, I think.
Yeah.
And Dan's like, I'm not even phased by that. Didn't even make a dent in my wallet.
It did make a bit of a dent. It hurt. It put me below a round number. So
round numbers.
The other thing I've been playing a little bit is Monument Valley, which is a pretty fun mobile/tablet game, probably on Steam. I haven't looked. It is a puzzler platformer. Sort of in the theme of an M.C. Escher painting. I can't really describe it otherwise. Like, you try to get to a particular place on the level by walking on surfaces, but you can rotate and move certain things. But it has to do with perspective. Actually, you know what? If you've ever played Fez, it's a lot like Fez in that way. But it's got really.
By the way, the versions are iOS, Android, and Kindle.
Kindle?
Apparently on Kindle.
You get this on the Amazon Kindle Fire.
One thing of note, though, is that the final level pack, which I believe is the DLC, is only available on iOS. So if you would like all the levels, it's like a $4 game or something. But it's quite fun. The music, it's a very zen type of game. So
yeah, definitely looks interesting. It's always been towards the top of the charts on the iOS App Store, and when it's not, it's usually featured. So I mean, I've seen it featured probably 3 times now.
Yep, good game.
So there's probably a good reason. So yeah, definitely check that out. Veg, what you got?
So my game pick of the week, I just finally finished it, was Dragon Age Inquisition.
I've seen a lot about this game too.
It's amazing. The second one was utter poppycock. So
Poppycock.
Can I just comment? The second one I thought was all right, but it in almost the same way that the Zelda Skyward Sword felt small, because there were limited locations, but you kept going back to them and getting deeper and deeper into them, and it just doesn't feel expansive at all. It just feels very claustrophobic, and even if there's a lot of areas that you get to go into, it still feels like a small game because the entire second game takes place in one city.
Yeah. And that was the problem for me. Like, Dragon Age was this vast, expansive game. Like, when Origins came out,
Yeah.
I'd still say that's one of the best RPGs out there right now, despite how old it is. It is still one of the most interactive, open world
fantasy RPG.
Fantasy RPG. Yeah. It's one of the most open world games you can come across. It's a lot of fun. I've killed so much time with that. I've almost killed almost as much time with that game as I did with Oblivion, which is saying something, at least in my aspect. But with this time around with Inquisition, I finally beat it around 87 hours, which isn't too bad. Which is a lot of game time played, of course. Content. Yeah.
By comparison, I just finished getting to max level on Neon Excesses, and that took me 60 hours. 60?
Yeah. Nice. But the thing is, I didn't finish every quest that I wanted to. I was like, because with me, I got to finish the story. Like with my very first playthrough, I have to beat the story to figure out what happens to it because I get impatient. So I beat that, and now I'm making another tune, and then I'm going to complete everything to see what happens.
All the side quests.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of them. They also did something like they did with the garrisons in WoW, which is they put certain timed events in there, which you can only do through them. With so there's one that was like a 48-hour one. I was like, are you kidding me? And it gave me this really, really piece of crap staff, which made me angry. And
so one thing that I'm a little bit always giggle at, I guess, in the Dragon Age universe, is that the Templars are like, I guess it was the Templars. It's been a while since I played, but they're like, we hate mages. Mages are bad.
Yeah, it's the Templars.
Bad. We have to kill all mages, and you're like standing there with your magic staff and your robes, and you're like, hey, can I join the Templars? They're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen any mages about? Nope.
We'll murder them for you. Here. Yeah, that always cracked me up. Well, that's because I know in the Origins one, it's because you're a Grey Warden, you're an exception. But still, that's like death to all mages. Like, hey guys, a little easy on that one.
Right.
Yeah, that cracks me up with some of that, and then they play a lot of the race cards too, like the dwarves and the elves, because humans hate elves for some reason. In the Dragon Age Origins, there's not really a clear reason why, but all the elves are pretty much either dwarves or not dwarves, slaves. Or in alienages.
I got the impression they're kind of like gypsies. They're like...
Well, gypsies do steal everything, so...
I think everyone's just like terribly racist. I think they're like basically gypsies.
Gypsies steal everything. But it's a fun game. I definitely...
I'm just done texting.
I'm not texting. I'm reading something. Anyway, so I definitely would buy, or it's worth a buy for a change. It's definitely worth $60 for a change.
Very cool. Oh, it's Ellie. Hi, Ellie. Yeah, hi, Ellie. It's like shaking his head no. Anyway.
Anyway, what was that?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's definitely worth the $60.
Moving on. So my game pick of the week is one that my mom showed me while I was up in Buffalo this year, and we talk about all these like action games and RPGs and stuff like that, and maybe you guys might think that we don't have much of a brain. Well, now we do. We have WordBrain. WordBrain is it's basically a word game. You'll have a 3x3 set of tiles that have a letter on them, and by connecting the tiles, you can make words. And you have to make the words that, it's a certain set of words. And when you complete the words, any blank tiles that you create, the ones above them will fall down to it. And you can create different words that way. Well, it's easy at 3x3. It gets hard at 4x4, and it goes all the way up to, I think it goes to 8x8 on one of them. I don't know. I haven't gotten
Good
that far yet.
God.
But this is frustratingly hard at times.
Is it
Because
Flappy
you
Bird's
see
hard?
all of these words, and they're not the words you need for that level. So it's on iOS. I don't think it's on any others right
Just
now.
iOS.
Yeah, but well, that's my game of the week. Like I said, I've played it a lot, and it's frustrating.
Nope,
Is it
just
as
kidding.
frustrating as losing to everybody to Yahtzee?
What?
Is it as frustrating as it is when you lose it to everyone on Yahtzee?
Dude, I just beat my wife by 175 points in that game. Thank you very much.
I know the last time that you were playing it, you were getting your ass handed to you by everybody.
Says you.
Oh, this is. You know what? WordBrain is boggled Tetris.
It kind of is, but it's different because it's set. The boards are set. There's 20 levels per pack, and there's like at least 20 packs. There's a ton of packs. Yeah, it's it's not like you're rolling random letters. The letters are predetermined.
Gotcha.
So
But doesn't that make the game boring after a while, though, once you figure it out? Or is it just up to
if you get to
chance?
the end of it, sure. I'm nowhere near the end of it. It's like I said, some of the levels are frustrating. It gives you hints, and you can buy more hints if you run out. But I have like 45 hints. I'm never gonna run out. So
You say.
I say, yeah. But anyway, that's it for the game pick of the week. So Dan, tell us what kind of scotch you're drinking.
I got Lefroy 10,
Because you're going to be drinking a lot of it.
There you go.
which is a it's an Islay Scotch, which is quite peaty. They take all the grains and they put them out on the floor of these. They put them out on the floor of the houses, and then they burn bog peat, and it makes it smoky. So it tastes kind of like a campfire.
All right. Well, make it a double because we got a lot of LCS to go through.
Mm.
So
Or maybe a triple.
I'm
yeah,
gonna mute my.
there's been a ton of league going on. Of course, last time we left off, we were in the middle of the NALCS promotion expansion tournament, rather, and I was very upset by the result. Curse Academy, of course, made it in by the time we had aired last time, and it was down to Fusion and Coast, and Fusion lost. I was so upset, and they were up 2-0, and then they got 3-0'd. The reverse 3-0, they call it.
Yeah, that was
I was
amazing.
so upset. I want to see Mac Noon in the LCS. That's depressing.
Yeah, they need to bring him in, just as like a random player.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was the NALCS. The EU LCS took place during the following week, and in fact, it was happening in Cologne at the same time as the Intel Extreme Masters. So we'll do the EU LCS first. Not a whole lot to go over here. It was the 5 teams were four teams. It was Giants, Reason, H2K, and N-Faculty. So in the first round, Giants beat Reason and H2K beat N-Faculty. In the second round, N-Faculty got eliminated by Reason, and H2K beat the Giants to make it to the LCS. I figured H2K was going to make it. I mean, I don't recognize any of these other teams.
Yeah, it's kind of like or like college. It's like college teams going up against professional football teams.
So H2K, they just steamrolled, and then Giants repeated their success against Reason. In fact, Giants 3-0'd Reason in both the series that they played.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, well, they 2-0'd the first one. No, because it's all best of 5. So yeah, they 3-0'd because Reason never won a game. So
Jeez.
Reason's out. Giants and H2K, and we'll see them in the EU LCS next year. And then we had the Intel Extreme Masters in Cologne, Germany, which was interesting because there's 2 teams competing there that are kind of suddenly rivals, I guess. Dignitas and CLG.
Oh no, that's because of trash talking. That's why.
Yeah, they never got to play each other though. That was kind of disappointing.
They badmouthed each other and they're like, "Oh, we didn't get to fight each other."
Well, there's a reason that happened, and that's because Gambit pretty much steamrolled the tournament.
Yeah, they did.
Dignitas took care of Aces High, and Roccat took out Dolphins of Wall Street.
Thank God for that. That's such a stupid name.
Unicorns of Love, dude. That would be awesome to go with Dolphins of Wall Street.
Dolphins of Wall Street versus Unicorns of Love. That would have been a face
UOL's
palm.
going to. They're going to Katowice.
No.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Deal with it. They placed top 2 in San Jose. They're going.
Get their ass kicked, please. Let them suck. Let them suck.
So in the semifinals, CLG beat Roccat 2-1. That's not really surprising because CLG is kind of starting to become a powerhouse of a team. They got Scar as their coach again. Well, not again, but now. And they seem to do rather well. But Gambit 2-0 Dignitas. I wasn't surprised by that.
No.
Dignitas is probably going to be the last place team this year in NALCS.
Sounds about right.
And then Gambit 3-1 to CLG as well. Now, Gambit did awful last year, but they apparently can beat the U.S. teams pretty easily. What it looks like.
It's kind of funny that everyone keeps they keep shit talking everybody. Like everybody keeps shit talking to each other, and they all lose to whoever they're usually shit talking to.
Veg, you are seriously crazy.
Meh.
All right, so that's it for what has already happened. IM Taipei will be coming in January 28th. So
Wait, what's their names?
Taipei?
Is it Taipei Assassins or?
No, it's in Taipei.
Oh.
Because we had San Jose, we had Cologne, now we got Taipei coming up. Taipei, but you did say Taipei Assassins are one of the teams that will be there, along with AHQ Esports. The other 4 teams have yet to be decided, and of course Katowice comes March 12th. So that'll be
that's a days.
Yeah, so it's going to be a ways yet. When does season 5 LCS Spring Split start?
I thought that starts in February.
Yeah, I think it's February.
It's kind of like NASCAR.
I'm trying to check to see when it begins. New season of the LCS will kick off on January 22nd, 2015. So that's
Never mind.
3 weeks. We'll get some more LCS action. All right.
Finally, I can watch it on my giant TV.
Absolutely. So now that Dan is completely wasted on scotch.
He's like, I can't.
What's up?
He's like, I can't drink anymore.
All right, let's move on to the gold goblining tips. And you got something pretty good this week.
So earlier today, I was at 583, but I just sold some True Seal assets, so I'm back over
583.
600.
You don't mean eye level 583.
No, sorry, I meant thousands of gold. So I'm at 603,000. I was at 620,000, but as I said, I bought 265 items.
Woe is you.
Hashtag first world problems.
Yeah, I got myself. Let's see. Oh no, sorry. The belt. No, the belt. I got a cloak. No, sorry, a 670 cloak. Gil's Glorious Wind Cloak, Heroic 670, and Ostrix Ossified Chained Orm 665. So, number one, do your cooldowns. You have a garrison. Mats are cheap. Do your cooldowns. I mean, there's no reason that every time you log in, because you're probably in your garrison, go to your crafting guys and just fill up their queues with crafting stuff. Make your war paints or your true steel ingots or your leather things or your hexweave cloth or whatever it is. Make them, stockpile them, sell them.
And if you need the mats, go get them. The mats are not hard to get in this X-Pack at all.
Yeah. If you're having a problem with that, that's your own fault.
I mean, I've been stockpiling mats because I don't have enough to do with them.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I've been selling them.
Yeah, it is super easy. And then when you have enough, now you have two options. You can, first of all, making stuff for yourself is always great because it ends up being semi-free. I mean, you paid for your mats, but if you're going got some crappy 615 thing and you just can't get a 630 to drop or something above that, craft yourself a piece of armor. You can wear 3 of them. You can also save up and make the upgrades. The True Steel Essence, Greater True Steel Essence, whatever, Glorious Crystal, Molten Tarot, whatever, any of those things.
And those will sell because, let me tell you, trying to roll a certain suffix on these things, it totally sucks. I hate that part of this X-Pack.
Well, that's actually a separate thing. So the upgrade ones are, if you have to save up a lot. It's like 150 or 200 of your time gate mats. However, you can also make what Ron's talking about, which is the reroll items, and that's like if you get crappy secondary stats and sometimes tertiary stats, you can reroll them. And so if you need something with multi-strike but you have crit, rather than reforging like you would have done before, now you use this item on it and it resets your secondary stats to another random, and you might get the stuff that you need.
Yeah.
But realize that all of these prices are dropping rapidly. I mean, they're less than half of what they were a couple weeks ago. So keep doing your cooldowns this week and next week and sell your stuff. You can bark on Trade Chat, or you can just put them on the auction house and make a few thousand here and there.
Yep. One of the things that I'm kind of expecting to happen with some of the BO non-bind trade skill mats is right now everyone's doing all their stuff all the time, every day. Eventually, I imagine people are going to get sick of it, but the need for the mats will still be there. So do you foresee these prices going up anytime soon for like?
I foresee them leveling out. I foresee them leveling out and then going up slightly, probably during 6.2-ish. Basically, whenever they make the non-raid patch, I assume there will be one. That is going to be when everyone is going to level their alts. And there's going to be some kind of gear catch-up system probably. And as long as it's not as powerful as Timeless was, I mean, Timeless made crafted gear mostly obsolete. You had the belts and the helms or whatever, the 522s. Those you still needed because the 496s weren't enough. But if there's going to be a period where people are going to be leveling alts, then those crafted items are going to go back up again. Because people are going to want them. They're just going to want to gear their alt in 640 right away.
Yep.
And some of those things are usable at level like 91, so then they'll definitely want to do it. The other thing, second tip, is negotiate. So that cloak, it's a heroic 670. It's listed on the auction house for 15,000 for the regular version. So if you look, the heroic version is about 40K. Most places, most servers. Someone wanted 40K for it. I said, it's only 15K on the auction house. Like trying to see if they didn't know what they were talking about. That's the other thing is, if you can trick someone, then trick someone, get your gold. They knew that it was a heroic version, that it mattered. So I said, okay, well, 40K, I'll give you 20K plus any blacksmith item that you want in armor. I wasn't going to give him one of the essences because that requires bloods, but said I'll give you, whatever. The belt only cost me about 8K because I could have sold it for 8K, but it cost me basically nothing because I had the mats on me and I wasn't going to use them anytime soon. So I basically got a 12K discount on a 670 piece. So
Jesus.
Negotiate, lowball people.
With this money, folks.
Lowball the crap out of people. I mean, honestly, look up what something's worth and offer them 60% of that. And a lot of people, especially right now, with all the people farming the trash and getting those BOE drops, some people don't need that piece. They don't care a ton about gold, and they just want some gold. And even if it's worth 40, they're willing to take 30 because they want 30K in their pocket and they don't want to spend the time trying to sell it for 40. And they also know that over time the prices are going to drop. So lowball people and shoot them way, way low enough they're like, haha, no way, and say, well, what were you looking for? And then meet them halfway between your way lowball and what they wanted and work your way up.
Sounds good.
In other words, haggle.
Don't you want to haggle?
Oh, where's Anna when we need her? Is that like a British word?
What?
Is that like a British word?
Chip Chip Cheerio is.
No, but in it was in Life of Brian when he wants
Come on, that's British.
Well, it is British. It's Monty Python, but
Yes.
haggle is not a British word.
Well, no, it's not a British word, but it's a British word. You know what I mean? They're just trying to whistle. That's probably not going to end well.
Oh, I'm thirsty, so.
All right. All right.
I want you to try whistling with a mouthful of saltines.
No, it doesn't work. I've already tried it.
That would be bad. All right.
There you go.
We're going to move on to Shosan's favorite part of the podcast. By the way,
You don't want to talk about 6 minutes news?
What?
6 minutes news?
No, that's not his favorite part.
No,
Oh,
but
right.
doesn't 6 minutes news come before his favorite part usually?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it does.
Ron's
Important
forgetting
things.
about himself.
I do because, people forgot about the guild on the 31st and the 1st.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah,
why, Ron.
I mean, I schedule the raids and then
I
news shows up.
wonder
It's like people want
why.
to do something other than play games. I don't. What is this? I don't even.
It's called drinking and being social.
So what?
I don't know, but
It's kind of like SoCal, but not.
I won $100.
I know what SoCal is.
I know Soul Calibur.
All right, so I've been reminded that I skipped the 6 minutes news. So yeah, and I put this up when we were going to do the episode 2 weeks ago, that we got to 5 of 7 in high ball, normal, pretty quick. We beat down Brackenspore. We beat Tectus in about a night's worth of stuff, and Twin Ogron have gone down just about as quickly. The next guy is going to be Biatch, I think.
Yeah, I did him in LFR. He doesn't look that fun.
He's hard enough in LFR. We had people that I don't know if I just had a bad group, but I think one
It was
attempt
LFR, so yes.
I think one attempt on Opshay took about 8.5 minutes. It was crazy. I haven't had one quite as bad since, but people might have geared up since then. I might have had a particularly bad group. I don't know, but that fight was still hard to heal. And this fight has like 8 different mechanics in it. It's insane.
Yeah, and this is on normal mode. This isn't even on heroic.
Yeah. Well, heroic's the same as normal, except it just hurts more.
Well, I heard that there's also another mechanic too. I don't know which one it is.
You're thinking mythical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're thinking old school normal versus heroic. No, this is the new normal versus heroic. Normal's flex. So yeah, we haven't even gotten a boss down in heroic yet. Although I want to change that on Monday. I'm hoping on Monday we can get enough people to show up that we can do Kargath on heroic. That's all I want to do. I don't want to go any further than Kargath because I don't think we could touch any of the others right now because we're having a hard enough time with those on normal.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately.
Kargath is definitely in our range. We were doing fairly well on him in lesser gear the first day. So now that we're a little higher up, why don't we start getting some 670s going around?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Of course, I won't be here that night.
that's the plan. Of course, tomorrow night is hopefully an alt night. Of course, if you want to bring your mains, you can do that. I will be running that on Opshay and healing better than I do on Runkley, who is about 10 eye levels higher. Yeah, Disc Priest healing is a lot better than Pala healing. So
Shield,
that's about it
shield,
for Guild News. I
shield,
mean, we haven't done a whole lot.
shield,
Although we
shield.
did have this last Tuesday. So every Tuesday and Sunday, what we do is when we go to raid is that we'll spam Trade Channel on Lightbringer first, and We got 3 people to join the raid on Tuesday, and somehow at the end of the raid, because of that raid, we got 4 people to join the guild.
Yay!
3 warriors and a new shaman who's, if you haven't met Blood yet, he's
I want to be the only warrior. Kick him.
3 warriors. We
Kick him.
3.
Kick him.
We also have Warden.
Isn't Warden a paladin, or is that Warden a din?
No, that's Moradinadin's the paladin.
Oh.
No, Warden's cool. Plus,
But
he's
he's a
kind of
warrior.
grandfathered in.
He's grandfathered in. Maybe I'll bring Curly Q back. Just
Don't.
to take the edge off.
Isn't that a gnome?
It is.
I should
He'll
end
be the
you.
target of everyone if I bring him. But yeah, I mean, we're getting our numbers back. Blood, of course, the shaman. He's extremely nice. He's working on getting his gear up. We helped him get gold on some invasions the other night. This is his first gold, so he's ramping up pretty good, I think. He should make a fairly decent healer. In addition to the healers we've already got, of course, Rondel Zidane. I've been healing. Sully's been healing. We're a lot better off than we were that first week. I was really worried that first week that we'd be kind of screwed, and always be pugging healers. And I don't want to be doing that. I want to be running with our own people as much as possible outside of course, Tuesday and Sunday. So again, tomorrow, alts, and we'll try to bring in some people from Lightbringer and see what happens.
Are you at the grocery store right now?
Yeah,
All right, I'll check the
that's it for the guild news.
Yay!
Can I get back to show's favorite part?
Yes, you can.
Okay, because he's going to be coming back in about a month. He's going to be very pissed off that I haven't been keeping up with the SoundCloud page to get the iTunes podcast going.
Yes,
I
you
might
will.
have to do some work on that.
Yeah, he's got some catching up to do, doesn't he?
Oh, I've got some catching up to do. The last one I posted was 33.
Water, of course.
Really?
33, yes.
And
And I think I know why, because 34 was the one that Veg hosted. And it's
Yeah,
like
but
I don't want to revisit that.
yes, you do.
I do not want to
Yes,
revisit
you-
that.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
There's a reason we're not letting you host these anymore, Veg. So anyway, Showsad's favorite part of the podcast. It's what the fuck are you listening to?
Yeah.
Fuck?
Thank you. What the fuck? And this one comes courtesy of my wife, and I don't know whether to thank her or
Curse her name
her
the
with
day
the-
she was born.
what is the worst song that you get earworm with? Get that sword away from me. I don't want to see that sword. Stop. Okay, enough. So, earworm, of course, is the inability to get a song out of your head. And Veg, since you got a TBD here, I'm going to let you go first.
Mine is by Q Lazarus. Goodbye, horses.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I've never even heard of that, but now I don't want to.
Goodbye, horses.
Veg
I'm
sings this a lot.
calling out to you. So,
Are you getting yelled at for singing that?
no, I'm not getting yelled at.
Oh, no, I was talking earlier. She's also
Oh.
talking.
I gotta say you might win this.
Yeah, you can thank GTA 4 for that one. I didn't even know about that song's existence until that game. I'm like, oh, what's this song? And it's like, it's all this. And I thought for a second it was, I thought it was Deftones for a second. I was like, no. And it was just bad. And then every time I hear horses, all I think is, or even, what is it? Silence of the Lambs apparently has it too.
Oh, jeez.
So every time I watch that movie, all I start thinking is, that song going. And I'm like, no.
Anytime you see horses.
Yeah.
Veg has sang this in raids before, and it's not fun for anyone.
That and I don't want to wait. I don't want.
Oh yeah. Oh, jeez.
That was my second one.
So the songs that you hate the most are the ones you sing the most. What is wrong with you?
I'm a masochist.
You are. All right. Let's move on to Penth here. What do you got?
Let It Go from Frozen.
Why
I like
do you
the
hate
adult
this
version
song?
of that song.
It's just it's not a bad song. It's like a pretty good song, but it was just so overplayed, overdone, over parodied, over everything, and it just gets stuck in your head. It's a very catchy tune. So
Now, I read something somewhere that said that even the composer apologized for Let It Go.
well, he needs to apologize to anyone with young children, because I know people that have like any daughters between like 3 and 13, and it was just nonstop.
I don't think 13's the upper limit on that.
I
I think
just
it's much higher.
well, once they're 13, you can like throw their things and tell them to go listen without headphones or something.
Let It Go. Wow. Well, mine was, and again, I put this up, and I had my song all set before I left for Buffalo. And when I got to Buffalo, apparently one of the big things that's going on with my nephew and my stepfather up there is that they will sing the Tokens, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, back and forth to each other
Oh my
at
god.
the top of their lungs. I swear to God, and once they sing it, you can't get it out of your head. You know, it's just I hate that song. I hate it, and I hate it. I can't say a whole lot more about it because it just drives me up a freaking wall, and having to deal with it for like a whole week was just too much.
Anytime I hear it, all I can think of is like 1993 or whatever it was, when the novelty Lorena Bobbitt version.
Oh
You ever hear that?
no, and I don't think I want to.
A wiener whack, a wiener whack, a wiener whack.
Oh, you guys realize this is my third facepalm tonight.
Yeah.
You guys are really. Actually, it was 4. I think Veg got 2 out of me in his segment for the songs.
You facepalm because I have too much gold.
Yeah, that was one of them.
This week was one of the very first times that I really spent any substantial amounts that wasn't in the interest of making more gold. But I figured, what's the point of having it if you're not going to use it? So
Getting to the cap, obviously.
Well, yes, that is the ultimate goal. But I'm willing to have fun playing and being able to play well in the meantime.
All right. Well, that's what the fuck. And we're going to go to closing statements, which we're actually going to rebrand as closing arguments this week. Because as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be getting into the console business.
Will you console me?
What do I get? Do I get the Xbox One? Do I get the PS4? Or do I get the Wii U? I don't think I want the Wii U because I'm not that into Smash Brothers and Zelda.
Well, here's my argument, because personally, if I get a console of this generation, it's going to be a Wii U, probably. What are the games on Xbox One or PS4 that are exclusive to one of those consoles that you feel you must have?
You're going to laugh at this?
For a while it was Titanfall for Xbox. PS4 didn't.
Titanfall's on PC. I have it. I own
Yeah,
it.
it was Xbox. It was Xbox One PC exclusive. PS4 didn't really have anything exclusive.
I mean, there's the only ones like The Last of Us is a console but not PC game. They're just, I can't think of very many games that are on consoles that are not on PC, except for Wii U first party games.
Yeah, like The Crew. That's not even considered for PC from what I heard. Which was an Xbox exclusive for a little while, and I believe it's on PS4 now.
But you asked the question of what's exclusive. You're going to laugh at this. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Pretty serious.
What?
Oh yeah, and Little Big Planet 3 for PS4.
So I think that's where your decision needs to come from. What are the games that are not on a PC that you want?
Well, not only that, also where most of your friends are. Because if you got an Xbox One, there's no one I know that has one.
Ron doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'd have no one on my buddies list. This would be sad.
You don't have any friends.
But But I know more people in the Xbox world than I do in the PlayStation world.
We got me,
At the same
Joe,
time.
Coles.
I mean, at the same time,
My
and
mom.
then of course another thing that is affecting the decision is this whole hacking business with Sony getting the worst of it.
They always get the worst of it.
Yeah, Sony's kind of had so many PR screw ups over the past couple of years that
Well, Microsoft's not any better, to be honest with you. They've had their own little problems,
they have, but not as much as Sony. Not
That
nearly
is
as much as
true.
Sony.
especially with the interview going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a big thing for Sony. I mean, that hit every part of them, every part of their company when those hackers hit. I mean, it hit everyone from PSN to frickin' Alex Trebek, man.
Alex Trebek?
Yeah, there was a email that got caught by the hackers that said that he was ready to walk out on the show
No.
over the show Jeopardy. So, I mean, it's
Well, I think one of the funnier one. I think
words.
yeah.
Look,
Anyway.
what did I say about the racial slurs? I
The
should write
funniest
good
one's
for
when they
back.
called basically Angelina Jolie an untalented hack and a bitch. There was an email saying that from Sony.
Now, why is this a PR nightmare for them? I mean, it's only speaking the truth, right?
Because many people disagree and they're stupid. That's why.
Yes. People are dumb, folks. That's what you can take away from this podcast.
And if
Closing
you ever
thoughts.
call-
Vince, what you got?
If you ever call me a thunt at work, I will punch you.
A thunt?
It rhymes. That's what
I know
the
what
word.
it rhymes with.
Yeah, that's the word that they called me at work.
Oh, so you just didn't. So you're gonna say the S word repeatedly. You're gonna say the F word repeatedly, but you won't say that.
Cunt. There you go.
Well, why did I expect anything else out of that? I don't know.
Okay, that's your fault. You
That's
should
my
have
fault.
let it.
That
You
is
should
my
let
fault.
it slide.
That is my fault. Dan,
So-
save me. What do you got?
Make your gold.
You're like rolling. You're freaking Scrooge McDuck. I bet you have a money bin somewhere in Greenland, and you're swimming in that. gold.
No, but I wish that if you had over half a million gold, then in your garrison there'd just be a giant pool of gold that you could swim in.
They need to do that with they need to do what they did in Fable. Like it shows you how much gold you have. After 1 million gold, you just have a giant gold mountain.
I agree.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a bad idea, actually, Dan.
It's kind of like an IKEA when depending on how big your gold is, like the pile, it has a different description for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Here's your
Yeah.
gold. Here's my ton of gold, and it's, your gold's like this high, and then his is like that high.
But to that end, Dan, I don't know if you've noticed, like if you stay away from your garrison for a couple of days, and then you go back, all the work order boxes and the resources boxes are huge.
Yes, I have noticed.
The only one that doesn't apply to is the barn. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just a little sack.
It's just a little sack. Doesn't matter how long you've let it sit there for. It's just a little sack.
Oh, side related thing for any of our IKEA listeners, because there are a couple. I have really been amused as a monk, because before fights I can build up my chi and get mana tea for it, and it reminded me of Kaiing up in IKEA,
Yeah.
trying to impale people that weren't sitting down. Spammy spam.
Alrighty. And for me, I mean, I'm back from Buffalo. I'm happy to be back.
Did you have to deal with snow?
No. Christmas Eve was a high of 57. 2 degrees off the record in Buffalo. Awesome. I loved it. And my stepfather, he hates snow too. He loved it too. He loved every bit of it. My mom was so upset that it didn't snow while I was there. So my brother goes up. He went up on New Year's Eve, and he posted to Facebook that I was going. I said, "Enjoy the snow that I didn't get, because it's snowing there now." So, yeah, I'm a mean SOB. So, all right, folks, I think we're going to call that a podcast. We are done here. So until next week, of course, is the Big 5-0. I'm Ron.
I'm Cave Johnson. We're done here.
I'm VeggieTales.
And that's the Six Gaming Podcast. We'll see you next week. See you, bye.
Toodles.
Threedles.